Yesterday was a day to remember. It was a Saturday as the new coach for the Chipolo, Sven van der Broek, had his first assignment, a serious one for that matter. It was the qualifier to the 2019 AFCON, which will be hosted by Cameroon. And hey, there was so much expectations about that particular game. You're watching Sapota Akambe, a show that gives an opportunity to you fans of different sports disciplines to air out, your grievances over certain sports development, your happiness, your joy, your everything. And as we speak, Zambia played against a tough Namibia. It had to talk the likes of Justin Shonga and obviously the tantalizing, Enoch Computer Mwepu to restore sanity. As when they were introduced, the shape of the game was instantly changed. And Shonga, thanks God, he had to convert that particular set piece. And Zambia leveled matters. It was 1-0 draw up against Namibia. And in Matero, that is where the fun was with the Sapota Akambe crew at one of the golf spots, places, outlets. It was fun. People reacted. Fans, the way they reacted, so I think you might also want to see how people reacted towards that particular one. Let's join our crew as we take you into the excitement of Sapota Akambe. Our Sapota wa Chiporoporo. Velani pamene Makamba. Keep watching Sapota Akambe.
My players wenze my players.
If you bwanje my player.
Huyu ndani mwepu. Izofunga kumleta pa face pa second half simba mwika mwepu maona ka. Manje paja palasi wamleta palasi mwepu. Sebe bola ataona kudara bola. Bola enze wina bola hii.
Bata draw guys na win. So
utawina bwa pa homo tibwa mukwa pula Namibia.
So mimi wana bwanje za qualifier.
Manje nikuza mvazo na possibility to qualify. It's quite slim. It's very quite slim, possibility to qualify.
Formation yapanga wa coach, maiona bwa?
Formation yapanga wa coach. Okay, coach singa mu blame pali hapa manje, cause coach nje pe ayamba. So tunga TCS kumshita kumtaya kwa ngo. Semana pasa friend maiona ka. Friend sembe natanji zako kuona kutati ni utiro ko ni utwanga temu musha bola. Manje hapa so, chimozi moche munga ni friend so ni bonse nje pe bazibana hapa so. So hapa so singa state judge pamene hapa. Pamene chazani pamene hapa amba chazani ta qualify kuchani Africa Cup qualify.
Bora yena ya chibafe bwino mdara wanje na yiwa mana tutamba chibipire kofe kudraw twa so yecha bipa kofe bati choni ngalomba kofe kuchinja kofe bora baloreka shepo sana kwatifya para mwepo arife bwino sana na kwata bora bati choni ngalomba kofe futi chimbi chako ko bati amari fari bare tufyenga sana mu games turete ya fama Zambian to arikwata opportunity yakute ya bora no kuya kuntanshi nomba bara tufyenga ko mumone iria embo ya chivani penalty iria but taparefa bachitirepo lazimani temishepo li farina ina taparefa achitirepo but twarusha kumaka ya kwareso ko batuteshani twingishe twaingisha at least twafumako 1-1 so icho ningalomba ko fe kuchinja ko fe game next game irefa ikatuka wine not tukafume draw or tukaruse turefa ikafe tuka wine at least ko Africa Cup tureya not fya ko bati yo shani coach na ma players bonse bari fye bwino combination iri fye bwino so icho turefa ikafe kuikatana fye bonse kuya pantanshi na game bonse twari temwa bora isuma sana naromba kufina kubantu bonse abatamba bora ko bati bakonkanye po kutamba ne charo chesu cha Zambia chie pantanshi na bora twari temwa efo ningaranda ko fe.
Okay, bora the problem yenje po ikurumaningi I think ni referee.
Aitata ni referee
because referee handball atifia handball nzofika ngara goich Zambia sababu na 2-1. So I think that's why sometimes you say football is not a fair game at times, otherwise that was supposed to be a clear goal. So for me I'm complaining because yanipa na ticket ya bola because in the front Zambia win 2-1. Jenze
nanga formation ya coach especially first half. Bachana ma defensive midfielders bavili. Mwenzo unaona bwa?
Formation was just okay. Formation is a formation nayo na several times kama inapo ma games. But what was supposed to be done, my players were relaxed. Including the goalkeeper, there's no way bola mti amweka kumambuyo. When they finger bola push forward, they try by all means to push the ball forward. Manje bebe nzofuna bola wasowesa kumambuye, including the goalkeeper himself. He was delaying time. And also let's say a bola mweti instead of kicking the ball forward. So if you have observed Palace, the same formation, they improved that trust. You have seen, which means they could have done better and kind of motivated first. So from the goalkeeper himself being the captain, it's the biggest problem. We're supposed to motivate the players. Could have pushing a ball so goal. Yeah.
For sure, we have played a very good match, though we failed to win the match. Now, for the games which are remaining as at now, they are the ones which we need to focus on. If we win the next coming games, I'm sure we'll be able to qualify.
Now, looking at the way the boys played, are you happy with the formation that the coach employed, especially playing with 2 defensive midfielders?
Well, concerning about the formation, I think the coach is not familiar with the players so far. Of course, the formation is okay, though we didn't have those top strikers which can shoot at the goal. So those are the strikers which we are looking for at the moment. And of course, if we look at those strikers, I'm sure we'll be able to win the next remaining matches.
You're talking of strikers. Don't you think maybe the coach made a mistake in the first half by playing 2 defensive midfielders in S01E16 and Nathan Sinkal? Maybe you could have actually started with Mwepu and Shonga up front.
Okay, with the formation, since I'm sure those were the players which were performing well at the training, for the coach to introduce them at the first lineup, I'm sure they were doing fine. Now, concerning with Mwepu and this guy Shonga, they have done they have played a very good game, of which the next game they need to be at the first lineup. That's what I'm thinking at the moment. Yes.
The game was okay. Despite the team wasn't together, the guys wasn't together, they could not play as a team. Moreover, looking at physical fitness, the guys, they lacked the same. Looking forward to rather for the next game, we are wishing them, good luck, but they just have to catch up and, the other thing, they just have to implement physical fitness. Yes, they have to play as a team, and this is what I can say.
Boss, matamba ball. Machira itamba. Bazamba na winner.
We have drawn.
You have drawn. Oh, what happened?
Zambia played well. Exactly. Me, I've got nothing against the Zambian team. The Zambian team are playing well.
Bola okay, bola yenze chape bueno, but mid chendi amene yenze ashitika mwa kwati siri mushe, but bola chevenze chekuchache bueno che, but mid chendi amene yenze yoruba na ruba.
Mu mid problem yenze pati.
Mid problem pamenze lili wenzi wafaka ma new players venangwa mestizi wa mshemushe mid senze kwenda bwino but pametizi wasema midfield wa macha mushe vene Mwepu ne Sinkala vene Sioni mane sinawaonemo isi
simnawaone so mona bwanji tinga qualify ma chances nayo
chances qualify tinga qualify bachache bwino bola but media pa kufunika wakambise chendani Mwepu ndo amene akondola mshemushe midi wakamiambisa chance hivi qualify tingapezeke nayo
tenzo tamba bazambia pamchani vashitika tamvera ati draw wenangu sinaitambe
twadrowa zona tunachaye mushe zona
mchani chashitika
twenzo kangiwa boss kai kongenesa mabola yongenesa kaya ngati squad sienze mushe semanagwirizane situziba mushe mushe
pena wana mibenzi na juju
wesipenze na juju ni bora chabe twakangiwa chema
makangiwa che
ma chances yambiri twakangiwa
so okay, formation ya coach amenenze bachaya benzo ambia na midfielders babiri Nathan Sinkala na S01E16 baja magazi ma defensive yenze bwanji formation makondola nayo maybe ndepentaita ile
Formation yenze mushe manje nzofunika basabula kai. Manje tuzadda bwa second half siba sabula. After batungenesa manje ndi pamene bambo sabula kai. So siyenze mushe okay. Otherwise bena mupashi bebe bachache mushe bezagwira mushe mid. Bena kara bachache mushe.
Okay, so mona bwanji tinga qualify because yapaoneka monga yakosako pang'ono. Okay, sinikambati yakosa but ma games yaviri only 1 point.
Qualify kweve unless kapena tukachinji tukama strikers yakaike konzeri kungenesa tunga qualify but wakachama memezi wachaira lero tunga qualify ichizatuvutako.
It's quite interesting when you see the results themselves, but as expected, a lot of defense from Namibia, Zambia not pushing too much in terms of pressure. I think in the entire 75 minutes we liked some creativity, especially from the midfield. We would tell from the introduction of Enoch Mwepu and the withdrawing of Salulani Pili, that gave something, a flesh or a flair to the game flow itself. And the introduction of Justin Shonga obviously had massive, of course, influence in terms of upfront of the game. But the Zambia national soccer team, going into this encounter, I earlier had said they had a 60% of win, and which means it's a 60% of win or 40, which would be resulting in a loss or draw, which was going on the 40 side. We'll see how the Namibians failed to contain the Zambians in the dying minutes of the encounter, but that was supposed to be done earlier. I was expecting at least in much earlier minutes of the second half to see the introduction of the likes of Enoch Mwepu and Justin Shonga, and of course the introduction of maybe a right back in terms of Siamu Jompa, but that didn't happen. We saw introduction of Enoch Mwepu, Justin Shonga changed the flair of the game. I think we had played a lot of defensive by the terms of two holding midfielders that had costed Zambia. Zambia was to win this encounter. And moreover, they were denied a penalty. That was a clear penalty. So obviously, that would be tabled on. But obviously,
do we need the video assistant referee?
Africa would be mostly agreeable with that. But really, it's mostly helping when you ask, obviously, as soccer fans, will tell you Zambia was denied a clear penalty.
Now, don't you think the coach made a mistake by playing two defensive midfielders in the first half in Salulani Piri and Nathan Sinkal? Because after the introduction of Enoch Mwepu in the second half, actually the game changed. Zambia started taking the game to Namibia, who were sitting deep defending the one lead that they had scored.
Well, I would say that he made a mistake, but actually that was a tactical approach of the game. Obviously, he knew that if he introduced Enoch Mwepu as much as early in the game, Zambia would lose it out because of the tiredness. And you know how Enoch would play. He's a very sharp and lethal, quite creative on the ball. So he needed little time for Enoch to create at least some impressive moves up front, but he had slightly just delayed introducing him in the game. So having the exposure in the game play and just holding up and gelling up with the team, that was a challenge for the entire team.
Now, before this team was assembled, soccer fans cried for the inclusion of the likes of Renford Kalava, Nathan Sinkala. I mean, looking at the way they played, do you think there is future for Zambian football, especially looking at the result that we recorded today? A 1-1 draw away to Namibia, and we've only played 2 games, and we've got just 1 point.
Well, it's quite interesting when you say the future of Zambian football. We always have the future. It's how we approach the games. Any game has got its own tactical approach, and for Zambia against Namibia, quite all right, this is not just an easy game like a soccer fan who just talk like Namibia. This is just a simple Namibia. When you look at the results between Zambia and Namibia, history will tell you that Namibia has been a very, very hard team to knock in terms of play. Maybe in the late 1990s, that's when you'd see 4 goals Zambia scoring in that encounter. But really, this time around, it's quite hard to beat Namibia. As you would expect, you'd tell that a lot of players are playing in the PSL and Zambian players are playing in the PSL. You would see a lot of hags from Justin Shonga with the Namibian players. That would just give you a clear signal how the magnitude of this game was. So going forward, Zambia has a team. For me, Zambia has a team. It's only the tactical approach, how we're going to handle the games that we're coming forward. Of course, for Coach Sven, I see him as obviously a potential coach for the Zambia national soccer team. Why I say so, he's able to read the game. Obviously, this is the first encounter. We'll be able to tell, obviously, after the entire qualification match, and we'll see if he's going to qualify. Obviously, everybody doesn't want to qualify on the second slot. That is be a problem in Zambia.
Now, going forward, what areas do you think Sven needs to work on?
Well, going forward, Sven has to look very much up front. I think he has the defense. Kabaso played very well. Stopilla played very well. And the gelling of Nathan and Nathan in the midfield very well. Introduction of Mwepu changed. Obviously, will tell you that we need a slight change. The likes of playing or maybe playing two defensive midfielders will never help for Zambia, especially if we're playing away from home and we're playing teams that are quite dangerous when it comes up front. The guy who just scored, I'll tell you, he plays in the PSL. That is just how impressive the Namibians are. So Zambia going forward is just reading the up front. I think the midfield we have, creative we have in the name of Enoch Mwepu. And we're having strikers on the bench, but obviously what he's lacking is the gelling of how Kambole would fit in and how Justin Shonga. But this gives him a clear picture going forward.
Okay, coach, singamu blame pali apa manje, cause coach nje pe ayamba. So, tunga TCS kumshitaja kumtaya kwa ngo, semana pasa friend mwaona ka. Friend sembe natandiza kwa kuona kutati ni utiro kwa ni utwanga tie mushe boy. Manje apa so, chimozi moche munga ni friend so ni bonse nje pe wazivana apa so. So apa so singa state judge pamine apa. Pamine chazani pa pamine apa pe ayamba chazani ta qualify kuchani Africa Cup qualify.
Mwenze mnalira ati ma players wakudala babwere benekala benesinkala babwera.
Awe, mwanga ija game y'abagana ngati mweze mwatamba. Those key players, banabasi abaitama new players mwayona ka. So we need to get rid of those old players. Kuleta ma new stars. We fashion sakara bonse baja na chani baina skill bangate ball. Baja kuru bonse baja funga che kuenda so che. Loko bora kuti mfuno mbweze baja bantu baja. Kulipa vya ngate kulingana na bafana. Bafana batia che mushe bora manje che bora che kuma funinga futina nzeru. Mwayona.
So going forward, me want a branch team. Do you think it in a chance you qualify? Because so far, from 2 games, only 1 point.
I think the chance of qualifying is a doubt, Maningi. Otherwise, I doubt. We could have won that this game. I want us to win a particular game. The other thing to motivate. No, way forward. That is 3 points. Now I failed to win this game. So I think I doubt if we were going to qualify.
Don't you think this game being the first for the new coach, Naevi, will contribute because maybe most of the players since the kuwaza mushe, so maybe didn't know the formation to play, or he didn't know the players to start in the first 11.
Actually, we don't even have to blame the coach. The coach has nothing wrong. Coach has done his best. I asked my players, but the problem I think is we are just relaxed at first if we have observed. There's no chance of watching pushing a ball so go no so where Sapamambuyo patch. My one. So otherwise, coach did his best. Then in na left now the biggest problem at Paya.
Monashan could qualify because so far from 2 games only 1 point.
Chance na tukwatanga chakoba ti kuma games tukweta ene ngakuri mu group mo turi mo 4 so ngapari bamwe aba chitirenani kana aba winine ko 2 games oro ba wina ko imo imbi ba draw ni chance twakwata yakoba ti game yo tungakwata ngatwa wina na next game oro twafuma draw nishin twapita no manga chakoba ti 2 games kuri aba winine ko babiri nishiyo twara kwa panic yako bati tapare ko twara nishi twara kwa to kuipanika 2 games ishireko yonse nishi tiforo kutakiriyo kuwina no manga tatu winine nishi twaferuka
nga benekala mwenzo lirira to tufuna benekala tufuna benesinkala babwera bachabwa.
I think my players Kala has done his best. He has tried. Don't javuta bola. Now if Kala tiache muche singala tiache win. Otherwise, the only problem so far, we are just relaxed at first. That's the biggest problem so far. My players have not accurate. You get the point, huh? Have not accurate. Most of the bola last if you have observed. Last coach in 80 minutes, they were supposed to play the same game. Then the other problem is that this player, Mwepu, at least you could have made some changes. As you have observed after Ngena Mwepu, na bola nja chinja. So the thing about first patch,
exactly, a supporter can express themselves in whichever way they feel. Wamakamba kumtima waba bwanji. Pali bola, Mzambia nanga kupailepo. So anyway, just the name of the game, you know, you don't take it personal. Come on. nkuitenga che muize cheni bola wama bati wama mtima sofuna kunyeka. So that is how people reacted in Matero at one of the Gulf sport outlets there, reacting to the 1-0 draw up against Namibia. A goal coming from Justin Shonga, been assisted by a couple of them, guys coming to party. Hey, you have to know the results of the games which were played. Muri Africa Cup, yonse, ma qualifiers. This is Zambia Ekaenzo, by the way. There are so many, African teams which are also on rampage, trying to qualify to the 2019 AFCON, which is going to be hosted by Cameroon. We want to check out the fixtures, the results, of the games that were played over the weekend as far as the AFCON qualifiers are concerned, and the fixtures of the games that you expect to see in various leagues over the coming, week. And a new tournament in Europe, the UEFA Nations League for national teams, which has replaced international friendlies, which is going to give an opportunity to big teams to play against their fellow highly ranked nations, was also played. My games here now will give you a bit of some fixtures as well to see how they panned out. Hey, check out these results and fixtures. Exactly, that is what transpired over the weekend and what you expect to see on Sapota Akambe. We'll make sure that we keep you posted, we'll make you stay abreast so that you can be, you can be aware of what is going to what is happening as far as sports is concerned. Hey, you still have a chance to grab yourself those t-shirts and caps, courtesy Gal Sports Betting. Just respond to the questions which we do post on our Facebook page. ABN Sport. Just search for it. There is a question there. Respond, then we'll get back to you and definitely will give you that. And on our screen as well, it's your question. Respond to that line. We'll get back to you and give you that t-shirt and the cap. Especially if you're in Lusaka, much even easier. Hey, why can't we meet next week? Lovely that you've been part and parcel of this exciting episode of Sapota Akambe. Keep on crumbling. But before I go, as per tradition, allow me to say thanks to our executive producer, Mr. Frank Kapindula, and my co-host, the guy from the East. He calls himself the Wise from the East. Is actually Wise Tembo. This is Joseph Chisale. Let's meet next week as we keep on crumbling on Sapota Akambe Badara. See you next week, Mdara. Atu hapo na nijindijibona.
Come on, Zambia.